My first experience at Episcopal coincides perfectly with today's speaker. As the class of 2012 waited oh so anxiously for the outward bound bus to depart from the new campus, well before the sun came up, I can remember looking out over 100 faces and wondering, how the heck am I going to pick out Jay Wright's son? As a Villanova grad and a new teacher at EA, there was nothing more exciting than getting to spend 5 days carrying a 60-pound pack in the sweltering sun to pick the brain of Jay Wright's own flesh and blood. Little did I know that Collin would quickly detach himself from my association and develop his own unforgettable identity. From the first time I met Collin, he has been a natural leader. He seamlessly takes charge without seeking the role and does it so effortlessly that it is only natural that he would find himself in the senior warden position. He is one of the most level-headed, positive, respectful, and esteemed students I have ever met, and if I had $1 for every time someone has said to me, "Your advisee is the most awesome person," I'm pretty sure I could fund this new campus. I am so excited to see what Collin will do with his future, and I am nostalgic knowing this will be his last time addressing the chapel, or addressing you as in the chapel. It is with great honor that I introduce today's speaker, my advisee, Collin Wright.
Please be seated. Thanks, Dump. Wow. Good morning. Obviously, this school year still has some time left, but we are beginning to approach the end of 2011-2012. For some of us, that is a good thing. For students, it means summer, no homework or class, and a break from the roller coaster that is the school year. For teachers, it might mean the same thing, a break from having to deal with us students, especially that darn 2012. But as this year comes to a close, especially for us seniors, it seems like the end of a long road. There's a vague yet promising future in the front of us with a strong and memorable past 4 years in the rear view. This is not a speech just for the seniors, because everyone has something to look forward to, whether it is next school year, next week, or even next period, as soon as this chapel is finally over. What I mean is that life is a series of beginning and endings. We can find times when one thing ends and another begins every day, every hour, every minute. I know that my life will eventually end, but that only means that my new life, hopefully in heaven, will begin. On a smaller scale, this school year will eventually end. My high school career will eventually end, but it only means that summer will start and my life after high school will begin. If we look at life this way, it's like getting a fresh start whenever we want one. If something goes wrong, I can tell myself, that time has ended and a new chance or opportunity to do something right will begin. But we can never forget the things in our lives which have ended, because learning from them can help us in starting our new beginnings. This leaves us with two things to think about as we are faced with the beginnings and ends. What did I do to leave my mark on what I've just done? And how will that help me to take advantage of these things that I will do in my new beginning? The thing that gave me the idea for this speech was actually 2012's Occupy the Green movement on Monday. The class of 2012 has definitely made its mark on Episcopal this year and throughout high school. We always hear that a person's true colors show when they're in the face of adversity. I do not think that could have been more evident with this class. 2012 has shown its unity and compassion when it has counted the most. And it will always be remembered for how it came together as a community during tough times and how it worked as a unit to make one of the greatest EA senior pranks. So I thought, what have I done in order to leave my mark on EA? I've been trying to think of one time in my life when I feel like I've had a big change or when I did something that made a difference in my own life, and I think I finally found one. During my sophomore year, I played 3 sports: football, basketball, and baseball. I was honestly not that good at either one of them. In football, I was a quarterback, and I was not very good. Honestly, it was pretty tough to see over the linemen because I'm pretty short, so. You know. And I remember having one game where I threw 4 interceptions, and we still only lost by a touchdown because the defense almost bailed me out. It was the Hill game away, if you guys remember that one. That was bad. I was better at baseball because I could make the plays in the field, but hitting was definitely a struggle sophomore year, and that actually continues today. And in basketball, I was on the JV team without too much hope of being on varsity in the near future. But I love playing all these sports. It was my favorite time of the day because I could get away from schoolwork and just have fun with the guys on the team. It is easy for me to talk about this now, but honestly, at the time, I was a little embarrassed because I was not as good. I did not live up to how good I was expected to be. My brother, Taylor Wright, was a tri-sport varsity athlete for 3 years here in all the same sports that I played. And if you know Taylor, you'll definitely know that me and him are complete opposites. My family is absolutely a sports family, and I was definitely most embarrassed by my abilities in basketball. Being the son of a basketball coach, like Ms. Dunphy said, one would think that I'd be a little bit better at basketball. So right before basketball season was about to start my sophomore year, I decided that I was not going to try out for the basketball team. I knew that I was not that good, but people kept expecting me to be really good because of my family. I really just could not take the feeling of not being as good as I was expected to be. Sometimes kids on the other team would talk trash, and say things like, Nova sucks, or let's go St. Joe's, or Nova should fire Jay Wright. I'm not a part of that. I don't play for Nova, but I don't know. Although these comments had nothing to do with me or the way that I was playing the game, I still felt it. Hearing this would make me think that my play on the court was a reflection of my family, and I did not want to reflect poorly on them. So, right before tryout sophomore year, I told my mom and dad that I was not going to play basketball that year. If you know my family, you know that my mom is the brains behind the whole operation. It's probably true with most families, but immediately she knew that the reason for why I really wanted to quit and told me that I was being crazy. Whenever she says, you know what I always say, I know that she's either going to butcher a cliche or drop some knowledge on me. Her favorite cliche to butcher is, we'll burn that bridge when we get to it. I think it's a combination of we'll burn that bridge and we'll deal with it when we get to it. I don't know. But this time, she was definitely dropping some knowledge on me. Ever since I was little, my mom and dad have always said that I have to be my own man and blaze my own trail in this life. Time and time again, they've said that I shouldn't do something simply because my dad does it, or that I shouldn't do something simply because my brother's good at it or because Taylor does it. My parents are firm believers in the fact that one has to do the things they love and are passionate about, and not what is popular or cool or easy. And this has definitely rubbed off on me. When I was trying to decide whether I should play basketball that year or not, I remember my dad saying, "Who cares what anybody else thinks? If you love the game, you should play." He said, "No matter what you do, as long as you give it your all, you know your mom and I will be proud of you." I think that it was then that I realized that I should not care what other people think when it comes to doing what I think is right. It might not have been cool for me to play basketball because I didn't play during the games, but I enjoyed being on the team, so I decided to play. And from then on, I did not feel embarrassed by the fact that I was not that good, or I was not as good as I was expected to be, because I tried my best and was having fun doing it. Now, believe me, this did not change my basketball skill level at all. I was still on JV sophomore year, and then I sat the bench for junior and senior year of varsity. But honestly, I loved every minute of it. I got to hang out with a good group of guys and play the sport that I loved. Cheered my heart out at games, went as hard as I could in practice, and had a lot of fun doing it. And this was only possible because I really didn't care how other people perceived me. I still received the jokes about the fact that I didn't get many minutes during the games, or scoffs because I was cheering too loudly on the bench. But I really did not care. As long as I was doing things the right way, being respectful, having fun, and being a good person, I was happy. I had some great experiences this year during basketball, despite not seeing the floor that much. I was able to lead the team with Brian Metzler as we worked on our games together. I played one-on-one with Matt Angelos every day after practice. I think I won the series, Matt. Bodied up Jack Shiel down low in the post. Trust me, he's not that tough to guard. What's up, money? One-on-one today. All right. And I got to run the scout team with the infamous three-point shooting Bear Peters. And I can tell you from firsthand experience what it is like to be the target of another school's student section despite sitting on the bench the entire game. I have to give it to Chestnut Hill's student section, though. They were persistent and hilarious the whole game. But honestly, it didn't bother me, because it did not change the fact that I loved cheering on our team no matter what they were saying. So as my high school, academic, and sports careers come to a close, I still am not sure what mark I've left on Episcopal. Some people might remember me as that vestry kid, which is understandable. But I would want to leave a mark of a kid who did not do things because they were cool or in order to stand out, but one of a kid who was passionate about everything he did and made the most of his 4 years here. The end of high school is not an end, but it's just another beginning. As I start this new beginning, I would not be playing sports or doing vestry, so I'm going to have to find something new that I'm passionate about. I will have to reach outside of my comfort zone and take advantage of a chance to start fresh and new at a place where people don't know me. I'm going to have to be my own man and blaze my own trail. But I will definitely make sure to leave my mark and remember all the experiences that I've shared with you all here at Episcopal. Thank you.